Hey, this is Paul back with another video for you. Normally you would see me put out a guitar lesson or a guitar riff or maybe even a backing track on my guitar channel here. But today I'm going to do something different and talk about the music video that my band just released. This week we released a cover of the song Barracuda by Heart. And we released it across all digital platforms as well as put a video out on Facebook and YouTube. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will put a link down below the video here to make sure that you can go look at it and see what we're talking about. And for those of you who have seen it, thank you so much for the support, because it has received way more support than we could have ever imagined. And as of now, it's been out 4 days and it's got over 17,000 views on Facebook and about 175 shares. So thank you so much for doing that and supporting the video. It's a big help to bands like us. So we appreciate it. And I hope to return the favor a little bit here and show you how to make a low cost or zero cost video of your own. So if you're a musician, I'll be talking in the context of making a music video here. So hopefully this information will be helpful for you. If you are just an iMovie user looking for some tips, I think this information will probably be helpful for you as well. So hopefully those two groups of people who are checking this video out will walk away with something that you feel is beneficial. If you do, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. I appreciate all the help I can get in that regard. So I'm going to flip the camera around now and we'll get started on iMovie. Okay, I've got iMovie pulled up here, and as I was saying earlier, we shot a music video to go along with the song Barracuda. The entire video was shot for $0. I believe you can do that too if you have access to iMovie somewhere. We shot some of it in my woods behind my house when it snowed one day, and then we shot the rest of it in downtown Raleigh next to the courthouse. We did some footage there, which really only took about an hour and a half. And then I think the rest of the footage was just me playing my guitar in a room with a black sheet hanging behind me. Let me discuss what was done here that I would recommend for people doing a music video. In my estimation, when you're shooting a music video, especially something like Barracuda that is clearly a high energy song, you've got to keep movement going. So for me, it's imperative to do that. I don't want to have the camera on any one image for too long. There'll be a lot of cuts, but there'll also need to be a lot of movement with the camera itself. I did use a gimbal. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's simply a device that can hold your phone steady and you can swing it in multiple directions, and it has 3 motors, I think it is, to keep the camera stable. So yes, I did have to buy a gimbal at one point, but I bought that a couple of years ago because I knew I would be making videos using my phone. And it's been a great purchase. It does do a good job. You can only, push yourself to a certain limit with a handheld gimbal like that. Otherwise, you're going to need a crane to get some higher shots, or a drone or something. But with the handheld gimbal, it at least gives you that option of having lots of movement without being too shaky. Everything you see that was shot outdoors in this music video, which is linked below, by the way, so you can go check it out. Everything that was shot outdoors was shot with a gimbal holding an iPhone 11. No lighting, extra lighting was used for the outdoor shots. There was lighting used indoors. We also made the decision to make the entire video in black and white. I didn't want to have to do that because we had some nice colors in there, but when you don't have professional lighting, it can make color grading a nightmare. So we were fortunate though, because black and white looks good for this. It looks a little more throwback and retro, so it worked out perfectly for this, but it can look very classic and hide a lot of imperfections in your filming. So if you're going to shoot something on a low budget, you might want to try black and white and see if your entire video just simply looks classier or better with some of those color problems out of the way. So that being said, one of the biggest questions I got was how we did the cartoon effects in the video. If you look over here at the bottom left, you can see I have a live action shot. So what I did, I went to the end of the live action shot and put my cursor there and left it there. Then I went up to the picture here showing where you are in the footage, and I simply took a screenshot of that image right there. Then I would go over to the online website lunapic.com, and it's an online image editing site and they have tons of effects you can use, where they have all these effects that you can choose from. You simply upload your photo, put it in there, and you can see right here they have the before and the after images. Okay, so this is Sketch Tool, and I use some sort of, I believe it was called Pencil Sketch, to get the cartoon-like image created. So once I got that created, while I was on this site, I simply took yet another screenshot. Then I would take the image back to iMovie and insert it right after there and put a cross dissolve. As you can see right here, there's a cross dissolve in between. So as it plays, it appears to be turning into the pencil sketch. Okay, so for somebody like myself on a budget of $0, this was a good effect to grab somebody at the beginning. And I think it's a big deal. I've read a lot on this, to make sure that the beginning of your video is something that will at least pique their interest to check it out a little further. You can't just slowly build into a video with the hopes that people will give you lots of time. People simply don't give you lots of time to catch their interest and retain it. So I wanted to put an effect in there right away that would be interesting and hopefully make them want to watch more. And that's what I did with the cartoon effect. I think it turned out all right. I liked it, and a lot of people have commented on it, so it seems to have been a good choice. So I did that at the beginning of the video. And for those of you who don't know, you can go on YouTube and get a lot of green screen effects. So you'll see coming up here in the next part of the movie, I have this frame right up top here with all the window frames and boxes and paint swooshes and that sort of thing. If you put that up there and then you go up to the top of iMovie and you click on this box right up here, if you can see that at the top, you can select it and make it into a green screen. All you really have to do is go on YouTube, look for free to use or royalty free green screens for download, and you can go download those via some sort of YouTube downloader and then drag them into iMovie and put them into your video. Now, let me just give you the reasoning behind using this, because I know some people mentioned that, wow, you use that effect a lot. So my reasoning behind that was a lot of our footage wasn't that great as far as lighting and being super crisp. Whatever the case may have been, it wasn't the most professional looking footage. So by putting this over top of it, and I'll let it play for a second. So by coupling the green screen, which has moving boxes over top of it, with the movement of the camera on the gimbal going around the subjects that we're filming, it really never lets your eye sit on one area for very long. To put it frankly, it just hides the imperfections in the filming process. In my estimation, it also gave it energy, but I know that we used it a lot, but it really kept things moving and moving forward, and that's what I wanted to do. So if you're looking to do something on a low or zero cost budget, you gotta make some sacrifices there if you don't have the best camera or camera work. And so we didn't really have either. Even though the iPhone does a great job, it doesn't do the job of a professional camera and cameraman. Those are layered over top, and you can see those are for quite some time. What's very helpful is, you see all the cuts I did? I also put these transitions in there, like right there. You'll see that it brings one frame and shoves it to the back, and then brings the frame with Eve in it to the front. You're getting a lot of movement going on, because not only is the camera moving as it pans across Eve, the camera was moving around me here as I was playing, but then we get the movement of the actual frames going, as well as the green screen. So if you want to add them all up, you could have as many as 4 different types of movements going on there. So it's one of those things that it looks like a lot is going on, even though it's a simple iMovie transition. So let me go to the end here, which I think was the coolest part. I hope a lot of people liked it. Well, I hope a lot of people watched the video to the end, because at the end, I wanted to go back to the cartoon effect and wrap it up with that and kind of match the hits of the drums and guitars. So let me just play from right here and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I did the exact same thing. The only difference here is that I should point out is when I took the still of the end of this live footage, there's the still, and then I took some more of that live footage and put it here, took another still, and then I took another piece of that live footage and put it here and did another still and did the cartoon effect. And then of course I just deleted the live footage from in between these frames. So you get that stop action feel by doing that. I think those were most all the things that I used. Oh, one more thing I should mention. Once I rendered the entire movie, and you won't see that here, but I rendered it, and then I started a new project and took it back in there, and then at the beginning of the entire movie, I put in the black cinematic bars at the top and the bottom that you see in a lot of more professional looking videos. And that was a green screen effect as well. So it's basically just a green screen with cinematic bars at the top and bottom. I don't know if I have that here or not. Let me see. Yeah, there it is right there. So you can see it has the bars at the top and bottom. So you drag that above your images here, and then hit the green screen effect for that footage, and it leaves the black bars, making your screen appear to be wider than it really is. It's a nice effect and makes it look fairly professional. So really those are the only effects I used on the entire thing. And as I said, it cost $0 to make. So it's not the most creative thing that's ever been put out, but it certainly was fun to make and creative enough, I think, to make sure that the video had a lot of energy throughout it. I think more than anything though is just doing the cuts and the camera movement, which that does take time. But as long as you have a lot of, always when you're doing a music video especially, make sure you have tons of footage. If you go out and you shoot an hour and a half of footage, that's what we did basically, shooting Eve down by the courthouse in downtown Raleigh. Even there, I didn't really have as much footage as I had hoped for. So you'll always leave, like 80 or 90% of your footage on the cutting room floor, as they say, and that's okay, because it's better to have a lot to choose from and get rid of a lot of it and then end up with what you truly want. I hope this helps give you some ideas as to what you can do with your own movies. So if you like these tips and tricks, please subscribe to the channel or share this video, or beyond anything else, please make sure to share the Barracuda video on YouTube. That would be a great help, because we're very happy with it and we hope that more and more people can see it. That is it for now, and I will talk with you soon. Take care.